Hey guys, and welcome back to my English brain. Today we are talking about the past tense. Alright, let's get started. Today we are going to use verbs in the past tense. So let's review some of the verbs we have today, starting with the regular ED verbs. Happen in the past tense, happened. Cry in the past, cried. Wait in the past, waited. Start in the past, started. Want in the past, wanted. Need in the past, needed. And try in the past, tried. Remember, the regular ED verbs always end in ED for the past tense. Now for the irregular verbs. For example, find in the past, found. Spend in the past, spent. Get in the past, got. Give, gave. Lose, lost. Do, did. Go, went, take, and took. Remember, be in the past has two forms, was and were. Can in the past is could. Take a moment and try to remember these verbs in the past tense, because you are going to see these today. This is Jared and Ronnie. Ronnie recently went on a vacation with his family, and Jared is asking him about the trip. Let's listen to their conversation.
Hey man, welcome back. So tell me, how was your trip?
Hey, thanks. Yeah, it was okay, I guess.
Just okay? Why? What happened?
Well, first, our flight was delayed for 5 hours at the airport.
That's not a good start.
Then, on the plane, I got a seat next to a baby. He cried the whole time.
Oh man, I hate it when that happens.
When we got to the airport, the airline lost my baggage.
So, what did you do?
I went to the hotel and waited for them to find it.
So, did they find it eventually?
Yeah, they found it the next day and gave me my baggage.
How did you spend the rest of the vacation?
Well, I spent most of the time in the hotel room because it rained the whole time.
That sucks.
Yeah, I wanted to go to the beach, but I couldn't go. Every time I tried to go outside, it started raining. Alright, now it's time for the grammar. And today's grammar is the past tense. First, let's look at this verb, find. Find is in the present tense base form. It's the affirmation, the positive form of the verb. In the past tense, it's irregular, and we say found. Found is the past tense of find. In an example, we can say, they found my baggage. Baggage are things like these: the suitcases or the bags you use to travel. So again, the past tense of find is found in the affirmation, and we say, they found my baggage. Now let's look at the negative form. When we use the negative form of the verb, we use the negative auxiliary, don't. We use don't and the base form of the verb. In this example, don't find is the negative form of find. And in the negative past, we do the same thing. We use the past tense of the negative auxiliary, didn't, and we use the base form of the verb. Remember, in the negative past tense, do not use the verb in the past tense. No. We only use the verb in the past for the affirmation. When we use the negative past, we use the negative past on the auxiliary and the base form of the verb. So for example, they didn't find my baggage. The negative auxiliary in the past and the base form of the verb. Now, we have some verbs that do not use the auxiliary didn't for the negative past. One example is can. The negative past of can is couldn't. So for example, they couldn't find my baggage. I use can in the negative past, couldn't, and then the principal verb in the base form. Another example is be. The negative past of be and the negative is wasn't and weren't. For example, my baggage wasn't on the plane. Very good. So the most important thing to remember about the negative past is that we do not use the verb in the past tense. We use the base form of the verb, and the past tense is on the negative auxiliary didn't. Now, this idea is similar when we use a past question. For example, when we use a past question, we use the auxiliary verb did first to indicate it's a question in the past tense. Then we use the subject, then we use the verb in the base form. For example, did they find your baggage? Notice I use the past tense on the auxiliary and the base form of the verb. To review, the past tense. We use the past tense of the verb only in the affirmation. For example, they found my baggage. The verb is in the past. But for the negative and for the question, we use the auxiliary in the past and the verb is in the base form. In the negative, they didn't find my baggage. Again, the verb is in the base form and the past tense is on the negative auxiliary, didn't. In the question, did they find your baggage? The verb is in the base form and the past tense is on the auxiliary to form the question. Very good. Now it's time to practice. To practice, use the correct verbs and the correct verb tense and also the correct auxiliary. For example, did you eat at any nice restaurants? Remember, in the question, we use the past tense on the auxiliary and the base form of the verb. Repeat. Did you eat at any nice restaurants? Not really. We didn't have a car, so we could only eat at the hotel. Remember, in the negative form of the past tense, we use the negative auxiliary in the past and the base form of the verb. Repeat. Not really. We didn't have a car, so we could only eat at the hotel. Why didn't you take a taxi or something? This is the negative form of the question in the past tense. We use the negative auxiliary in the past and the base form of the verb. Repeat. Why didn't you take a taxi or something? We did. We took a taxi once, but it was really expensive. Repeat. We did. We took a taxi once, but it was really expensive. Did the hotel give you a small room? No, they didn't. They gave us a big room, but it didn't have a view. Repeat. No, they didn't. They gave us a big room, but it didn't have a view. Very good. Did you get any good souvenirs from the trip? Repeat. Did you get any good souvenirs from the trip? Yeah, we did. We got some nice pieces of local art. We found them at a market. Repeat. Yeah, we did. We got some nice pieces of local art. We found them at a market. Very good, guys. Okay, guys, that's it for today's lesson. And thanks again for coming to My English Brain. Remember, if you liked the lesson, share it with your friends, family, and classmates. For more videos, subscribe to the channel, and for more practice, go to the website, myenglishbrain.com. Don't forget the next video. It was awesome. Was, were, there was, and there were. Alright guys, thanks for coming, and good luck.